He was crying when I told him no. Not loud crying, controlled, the kind he used to mock. We were sitting across from each other at a glass table that reflected his face back at him, older now, softer around the eyes. He kept saying my name like it was a prayer he'd forgotten how to say. I watched his hands shake and felt nothing. That was the moment I realized I'd already won. He taught me the word stupid before he taught me how to tie my shoes. It lived in his mouth like a reflex, spilled out whenever I asked a question, made a mistake, or dared to want something more than what he'd decided I deserved. You're not smart enough. People like you don't make it. Be realistic. You're average at best. 18 years of that does something to a kid. It teaches you how to disappear in plain sight, how to nod while being dismantled. I still remember the early days when I believed him because he was my father, when I thought love sounded like correction and humiliation was a form of guidance. I worked harder then, desperate to earn a word he never planned to give. The betrayal wasn't loud, it was systematic. He told teachers I was slow, told relatives I was lazy, told strangers my dreams were cute. By the time I left home, he'd already written my failure into the family mythology. Everyone knew my role. I was the cautionary tale, the one who peaked early and faded quietly. I didn't argue. I took notes. The first crack appeared years later over coffee with an old family friend. She mentioned my father had been so worried about me, said he'd told her I was barely getting by. I smiled, paid the bill, drove home in silence. That's when I realized it wasn't concern, it was narrative control. I started paying attention, the backhanded compliments, the probing questions disguised as small talk, the way his tone shifted when I mentioned work, too curious, too alert. So I stopped sharing. I built quietly. No social posts, no announcements, no victories he could reframe as luck. While he kept telling people I was nothing, I became everything he never expected. Methodical, patient, precise. I learned the rules. Then I learned how to bend them without breaking a single one. By the time the numbers crossed into 7 figures, my name was clean and my silence intact. Revenge doesn't start with anger, it starts with restraint. I let him keep talking, let him keep lying. Then I made one move. I updated my public business filings. Nothing flashy, just accurate. A few industry mentions followed, then a profile, then an invitation I accepted publicly, one he couldn't miss. The call came 2 days later. His voice was different, softer, curious in a way that felt rehearsed. He congratulated me like he hadn't spent nearly 2 decades rooting against my existence. "How much are you making now?" he asked. I didn't answer. I let the silence work. That's when he found out, not from me, from everyone else. The begging didn't happen all at once. It unraveled. First came the pride, then the jokes, then the "I always knew," finally the need, a business idea, a loan, a partnership. He framed it like reconciliation, like healing, like he was offering me a chance to finally belong. I said yes to the meeting. Now we're back at the glass table. He's explaining his plan, numbers scribbled on a napkin, confidence leaking through desperation. He keeps talking about we, about blood, about second chances. I let him finish. Then I slide my phone across the table. On the screen, an audio file. 18 years old. My voice, small, shaking. His, sharp, bored. "You're stupid. You'll never be anything." I don't raise my voice when I speak. I recorded everything, I say. Not for revenge, for memory. I wanted to be sure I didn't imagine it. His face collapses, not from guilt, from recognition. I lean back. I don't need your approval. I never did. What I needed was distance. He starts crying then, real crying. Says he's sorry, says he was wrong, says he needs help. I stand. "I know," I tell him. "That's why I won't give it to you." Walking away feels clean, like setting something down I was never meant to carry. I didn't ruin him. I didn't expose him. I didn't take anything back. I just refused to save him. That's the part he never saw coming. For years he thought my weakness was my future. Turns out it was my camouflage. I built my life in the shadow of his certainty. And when he finally came looking for proof that I was worth something, all he found was a closed door and the echo of his own words coming back to him at full volume.